and then I'll click the play on the intro.
Perfect.
Yeah, perfect. It looks like we've got a little bit of something coming through, and so we, in smooth fashion, we'll click play.
That was perfect. That was so
Yeah,
good.
except that, I mean, because it was there on screen, but
Yeah.
it's the intention is to have that little countdown timer,
Right.
ease in,
Yeah.
and then show that. So I think I just need to expand on it.
I think it was great. I honestly think it was great. Hello, everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone that's watching, live. Thank you for joining us. We just pushed the button. We said, let's go live. This is our normally scheduled time for us to do some message sorting. And, for those that are catching the recording, thank you for checking it out too. We
Hey,
did get
hey.
some people,
Oh, Matthew
checking
Burrell.
our recording, of our live session. Hello, Matthew.
Yeah.
Matthew, can you? Daryl thinks he didn't do a great job with the intro. Maybe give him some love
Look, I
on the
don't need
intro.
reassurance.
No, I
I'm
don't. He
okay.
doesn't. He doesn't need
No,
it. But
no.
let's go ahead and give it to him anyway. Daryl, I think you did a great job. I do. I think so.
So Matt works with, I think, Scott Brandt over at 365 Coach.
Okay.
So they're doing a great job. And Scott's work there is blowing up, especially on his channel. He's got a fantastic way of taking people through concepts and training people. He scripts it all out nicely, and yeah, Matt's there helping write some content as well. So
Nice.
good to see you here, Matt.
See, he loved the show. He loved the intro. See.
Hey, cool. So what you said, 16 messages, and I have probably about the same six. There's actually one that I couldn't find, probably
There's
because
18.
you have
Yeah,
a
18.
service that
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah,
Which one did you?
couldn't find. It was
yeah.
the studio one, Copilot Studio. For some reason, I couldn't find that ID.
Really
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. Like, have you bought a license? Is that why you're seeing it? No? All right. Maybe
I
it's a
don't know.
US thing. Hey, M365 thinking. Thinking of M365 here too, as you might say. Yeah. Don't scare off the audience, Daryl,
Oh my
with your bad
gosh,
jokes
Daryl,
already.
we just talked about a good intro, and now you're scaring them off.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
Casper.
Oh, Casper. Right.
Let's see which one. Copilot Studio environment and routing
Hang on.
announcement. Is that the one?
Well, you've got it in your screenshot, so let's have a look. It was.
It was toward the top. If that's,
Was it Cupia? Yeah, that's it.
yeah.
Couldn't find that.
It's a Power Platform one. So
That's it.
that's interesting.
I don't power my platform.
Aha! Look at you. Yeah,
We've got a few.
Yeah.
Another general comment I'd make about these.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of stuff happening in Viva Amplify, which is
So-
okay. It's
Well,
cool. But
I think so.
do you have access to it
No.
now? No, I don't know either. So maybe they've got like residual signals that say, you guys used to use this. Do you want to
Well-
still use it? Because we're delivering now.
I think there's some. Well, there is one of them that I'm like, okay, come on, you're just marketing to us now.
Is it on your list?
Let's see.
I mean, this is just the starred stuff. So.
I don't know.
Hey, Andres.
I think the problem is with me, and I said this on socials. Somebody woke up the Viva Amplify team and said, "Hey, y'all need to be posting something in the message center because," and that's the reason why I selected them all. I think we have 6 or 7
1, 2,
Viva Amplify
3,
ones.
4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, look, we're amplifying Amplify today.
And now, thank you for everyone for joining us live, because guess what? You get to help us pick whether we talk about these or not. We have 17 or 18, depending on how you count them. Whether you're using U.S. math or you're using New Zealand math.
Matthew doesn't like Amplify.
Apparently. So what we're doing is this show is all about going through the messages that have arrived this week
Yep.
and figuring out if we're going to cover them on the show. We talk a little bit about them, go a little bit more in depth than maybe we would along the path of trying to figure out if we're going to talk about it. You know, if it's a easy yes, then check mark, we'll do it. Sometimes we talk about it a little more in depth to figure it out. And I think also you'll be here to wow.
Yeah, like Matt
Looking
or
at the
Beth,
chat, I'm like,
what are
wait
we
a minute.
talking about here? Is it
Oh
my
my
accent that makes
Casper,
it
come on
sound
now.
like we're talking about cooking stuff?
Yeah. So here we are. Let's
Yep.
jump into it.
Yeah. Do we start from the bottom? I know that's how we present them, and
Yeah.
I've got them in that direction.
That's
Yeah.
fine.
Okay. Let's do
Let's do
that.
This one,
Graph.
I really so what this is you can go into and create a connector that indexes outside of M365 content. I just did this. Actually, I did it for my website in my tenant, so my danielglenn.com. And so that, because what you can do then is take that connector and attach it to a search vertical and have a search vertical that's for that connector. For instance, like I said, I did danielglenn.com, and then it was for a presentation I was giving and saying, look, you can create a vertical, and here's, you know, I do a search, and here's all the stuff from my website, you know, for this thing.
Yep.
So now it used to be like, if I go and look at my account right now, it's 5,500 item limit. They're going to increase that to 50 million items. I kind of think this is a big deal.
Okay. I think so. Like, this is where we hope to see things grow and being able to bring more content in. Is this going to affect also, what is it, plugins for Copilot? So, because it's connected to graph bits and pieces, you might have more.
Yeah, I mean, this definitely affects Copilot because you know, Copilot uses the graph to get the content. So you can create custom Copilots to point to and only use certain. I mean, this I think is opening up the door for many solutions, whereas before you had to pay for it.
Right.
You know, you had to fork over, and you didn't really know how much you had to pay because it was an indexing thing. So it's kind of like, okay, I'm going to index this, and then you sit there and wait for it to index, and you're like, oh, that's a lot of items, and now I have to pay for it, and you're like, ugh.
Is that the equivalent of going to the gas station, the petrol station, sticking the nozzle in your car, pulling it so that the clip is on, and there's no pricing?
Yeah,
You're like,
and then
how much is this going to cost?
I have no idea. I just put my credit card in, and then
And you, it's a tough week, so you're just sort of like, I want to get it to like stop right on the zeros for $20 worth of gas.
yeah.
Look at me, I'm being so inclusive of Americans by saying gas and gas
I
station.
love it. I don't know why you call it petrol.
How many Americans have we got on here right now live? Just raise your hand or say yeah
Raise your hand.
in
I
the
don't-
chat. I don't know. Can you
I
raise
don't
your
think
hand?
there's.
You
I
can't.
don't think you raise your hand.
There's a
in
raise hand.
YouTube chat.
Andreas has used a little wave, so
That's
that'll
a
do.
wave. It's not a raised hand.
Okay.
Sorry.
Covering it. Sounds like
Definitely covering it.
Casper's keen on it. You know
Yep.
a bit about it. So our labels this week.
Ooh,
Yeah. Is that a definite? Like a yeah?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
What? Have you gone in and filled this out?
I did not. I copied the page template.
So the page template worked this week.
Yeah, I did.
The
They fixed
labels
it.
came across.
I think they've been watching you, and they're like, "Oh, Daryl's mad. We're gonna fix Loop."
Nah, they don't watch me.
I bet they do.
I'm not a loop advocate.
What? We're gonna switch back to OneNote,
Oh yeah, we are. Or maybe just
or maybe they just fixed it to the point
Notepad.
where, yeah.
Notepad doesn't
All right.
sync though.
I think
All right.
we're doing it standard. Yep.
Standard.
Although I'm not
Yeah.
entirely sure I
Yeah,
like.
but you
It's
know
not,
what?
It's not
It was-
fun enough.
No, it really isn't.
It's
I
not.
feel like
We'll stick with it this time. But
okay. All right. Your amplify. We're starting on the amplify round.
well, I
so-
think we need to talk about Amplify. You know, Amplify is a paid feature.
Mm,
So as people who frequently join these live chats and the show, we talk about There's different things we take into account. Is it a thing? Is a big one. It's like, is this actually a thing, or is this, just junk, garbage of marketing or whatever, or is it just a little bitty thing? But then we also talk about, is it paid? Is it something which has an implication to another thing we talk about, which is, do people actually use this thing?
Yeah.
So Amplify is a paid thing, and do people actually use it? I think people do, but not a whole lot, not enough. And if you'll remember when it was announced, I said this is a thing I've been wanting for a decade. We have way too many communication channels. It would be great if we could just, make it happen. So Amplify, we have 7, 6.
I feel like
7. Yeah.
like in support of a product that we want to see succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just say too that the pricing model for this. Okay, I know we're going a little tangent here, but you can either license everyone who's going to use it and be measured by it, or you can just get it for a few of your communicators and they can use it to push stuff out via channels. I think it's good. No?
So I am not very clear on licensing. I don't, and I think we shouldn't dive into licensing too much because we can get in trouble. But it was my understanding, unless they've changed it, that with Amplify, everyone needed to be licensed for Amplify that received the messages.
Meh.
That's what I was
told. Only if you wanted to measure them. Only if and it kind of relates to this, that sort of data in terms of, did they read it? Did they click on anything?
But
was
how?
There any actions?
So it actually it looks at and says, "Oh, you've read it. Do you have a license? Okay, you do. I'm going to count you."
I'm going to count that. It's much like the Insights licensing, where people have to have an Insights license to be measured and give those stats back sort of further up the chain to.
Christopher thinks just like me. I like Christopher.
Everyone is what I thought.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
See, that's what I was told. Now, what you're saying makes sense. Like, hey, if you use Amplify to push out to Teams and SharePoint, it doesn't, no one's licensed, then you're going to get no insights.
No.
Right? But see, that's a very disjointed experience. So I don't know.
We're sending it out. We're leveraging the beautiful capabilities of authoring something in one place and sending it via multiple channels. We don't care about the stats that come back, whether they've read it or not. We just want to leverage that capability to get it out there.
I'm with you. Now, maybe because if we're going to talk about Viva Amplify, maybe this episode, we might have some product team members who will watch and will jump in and actually clarify, because it was a product team member that told me everyone had to be licensed. And
yeah, but they would say that.
Right. But that makes zero sense. Now, when you talk licensing, you talk about, does it work versus what you should be doing. That when they told us that everyone should be licensed, it should be. Now, would it work if everyone's not licensed?
They'd receive a message.
Yes. So it's, that kind of thing of, I think, I think the team really wants people to pay for it, right? They need licenses to keep innovating. And hey, they're innovating apparently. We have 7 messages. So maybe they're getting people signed up. Maybe that's
Matthews shared why he calls it Amplify Shamplify, because he'd been waiting for it to, when it arrived, no one could understand the licensing.
Yep.
Ain't that a typical thing?
Yeah, no kidding. So, all right, that was a lot of prep for us to talk about these messages.
So let's skim these and then just decide which ones we might talk about in brief.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. So export data. This is all about measuring.
Well, measuring, like what you were just saying,
and
being able to export that data to use.
Yeah. So this is almost like your click-through rates.
Yeah.
Did people? How do they have Engage in this diagram, people? Because Engage is still, and I'm sorry, I'll just ignore this. Oh, wow, that's stink. There's the size of our graphics. Sorry
Come
about
on, people.
that.
We need better.
Engage is not a channel available to us yet.
Mm-mm.
So this is indicative of the future.
Well, maybe soon. I mean,
Yeah.
we know that. I mean, it's in dog food. Dog food is the environment Microsoft uses to test it
Yeah.
internally and stuff. You know, they have engaged internally.
Unique views, promotions,
They gotta. I don't.
positive
I'm not breaking
reactions.
any NDAs or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I don't know, but they got to have engaged internally, right? Because man,
Well, yes. Yeah. So it's going to measure unique views, promotions. I forgot what promotions was. I think it's like the boost. Oh, no, promotions is their terminology for, hey, that's a great thing. I'm going to retweet it. I'm going to reshare it with my other people. Reactions. So that's the sort of stats that they get. This
this
is
seems like not a.
not a thing really.
I mean, it's a thing, but not a.
You can export it now.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah. Okay.
And then the
Maybe.
next one, we get line graphs.
Line graphs.
Yeah, it's the
Symbol
Viva Amplify
user
user
graphs.
signals graphs
Signal graph.
for both viewers and promotions, like you were just talking about.
Hmm.
So it's more exporting, but it's a new graph, showing that.
Yeah. You viewed it. You liked it so much you promoted it.
Yeah.
Interesting. I feel like they could have just combined.
Oh, well, 100%.
Yeah.
And I was actually feeling that for a lot of these. But we've seen those kind of messages before. Hey, here's some new features for this product. And then they're like, here's 4 web parts that are new. Or here's... They definitely could have done that, I think, here.
Mm-hmm.
But they did... Someone met their targets.
Message quota?
Yeah, for sure.
They wrote their report in 20-point font and completed 2 pages.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. If we talked about those, I think we could talk about both of them very quickly.
Both together.
Possibly.
Yeah.
It's one of those. Ooh, somebody messaged retracted. Matthew, what kind of things you saying in there?
I think what I saw was somebody got excited. I got a memory that sometimes works. Yeah, maybe they
Honestly,
can push out a roadmap.
the next one, there's a UTC toggle. So that
UTC.
when you're exporting
Just
data,
the time.
yes, it'll be consistent.
Okay. No.
Okay, good. That's what I thought. Hey, although people, we're here for you. So if you think we should cover the UTC message, throw it in chat.
Yeah.
Let us know. You can override us.
I just say no because it's something that isn't really a feature you want to brag about. It should be there. If you've got something
Yes.
that's got a timestamp on it, sure, record it in a universal time C, whatever C is again. Do it based on that, and then show it to me in a relative time based on who I am.
Yeah, I agree.
AOB. Sorry, you have to explain AOB, Matthew.
The next one, reactions card.
Reactions. How
So,
many reactions?
yeah, showing, which is interesting.
To track display readers.
Yeah, so you can track responses to publications, and then you get to pick the time horizon instead of just all time. You can say last 7 days or whatever.
This is really bitsy. The theme I'm seeing across this is measurement
I agree.
and exporting. And hey, we've come up with this and we've come up with that. As you've said earlier, is this a thing? Well, it's good to know what our reactions are, but
If
this
it was
could have
all
been-
together, I think we definitely cover a
Yeah,
message
so-
that talked about new ways of measurement and exporting, we would totally cover.
So
it.
you
But
want to
now we're
make
kinda
it, you
like,
want to make history on our channel, Daniel, with our show, and say this is the first time we were combining 5 messages and talking about them, because this is going to
maybe.
murder
We'll
me
see.
in the video edit.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, cool. This one though, like, why do they consider the shock face to be a negative? That could be a positive. Like,
Yeah.
whoa, that's amazing. You know, I don't know.
Other reactions, I think. Yeah, I don't know. Like, that's subjective. Some
totally
people
is.
choose those.
Who did this?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Okay, moving on.
Yeah,
I think what we have decided as we've been working our way through these amplified things is we'll either do them all together and try and come up with a nice tidy summary, and I
Yeah.
take screenshots of every single message and we spend like 1 minute on each, or we don't do them.
All right. If you want Daryl to do all of that work for Viva Amplify messages, those in chat right now, if you look right where you type in chat, one space over, there's a $sign in a box.
Oh.
Click that and donate. You could just donate $1.
Yeah,
Pay
like
Daryl.
we took $1.24 or something, wasn't it, for getting
Yeah.
you to do a message last time?
Yeah, it was something silly. So you could do 10, you could do 15, you could do 100,
Look,
or
you can
do one.
any dollar value.
If you want us to, throw it in there. Yep. The next one is reports displaying count and percentage. See, it's more.
measure.
It's measure. And which I think is very, I think it's very like good, like applicable. But
Okay,
Man.
going back to our licensing thing again, and I'll keep it brief.
Yeah.
This is why you license everyone. So you can get this.
back to the whole like, does it work versus what you should do? I was assuming it actually worked, whether they were licensed or not. But you're supposed to license them.
Okay.
But again, maybe someone from the Viva Amplify team can tell us.
We have a friend. She might come on and talk about it, and then scold us for, hey, get this right.
Well, we can say, you know what? If you maybe did a good job of explaining it. Man, I'm spunky today.
Yeah. What's in your cup?
It's a clear liquid.
That could be a number of things.
Mm-hmm.
Distilled.
No, it's not distilled. It's
Moving
filtered.
on?
It is filtered.
All right.
It's really delicious water. I'm so thirsty.
This one we have to cover. I want it. I want it because I had a
You skipped the
discussion
new
with...
banner web part.
Did I?
Yeah. Amplify
Oh.
again. It's the other.
What? Why?
Yeah.
No,
It's
'cause
the one
that's
above it.
It is the one above it.
On
Let's go
Wait
above
a
and
minute. I don't have the word one in my listing.
Well, you should.
I know.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know. No,
Vodka.
actually,
It could be vodka. Yeah. Could be gin.
gosh. No, it's
White rum.
No, clear whiskey. Apparently, have a
Pure ethanol.
no. Like you could do whiskey. Apparently, I don't know this personally. I just know that you could do whiskey, but just not in oak barrel. Like I don't know so it doesn't turn dark. Let me. We
Doesn't
talked about
personally
this.
know it, but he detailedly described
Well,
it.
I live in Tennessee.
Of
it's
course
kind
you
of
do.
like
You know,
it's
home
on
of the.
you can't graduate school until you know all about Tennessee whiskey. It's a
you know all your
requirement.
grades of whiskey.
Yeah, you have to be able to like sniff, smell it, and then go, that's this grade or that's this brand. They
So
won't let
in
you graduate.
elementary school, you've got like pledging allegiance to the flag, and the second important thing you do every morning is, what grade is this, kids?
Yeah,
Oh
like
my goodness.
who's the manufacturer? Is this Jack Daniel's number 7 or is this Gentleman Jack? You have to. Oh, that's Gentleman Jack, Mrs. White. Yes, you're correct, Daniel. Have a
Well
seat.
done.
Well done.
Well done. All right.
All right.
Oh, and if you, so this is a small plug here. If you want to have more discussions about vodka, smoking cigars, and the like, check out 365 Distilled. That was Marion and Steve over in the European space. So yeah, they got some good stuff to talk about. Cross plugging.
Also, if you click on the $ in the rectangle and donate at least $10, we'll talk more about whiskey for 5 more minutes.
Wow.
Okay. Which one are we doing? New banner web part.
Yeah, and then we'll come back to the Copilot thing.
This one's different.
Updated title area. Any pictures? Yes, pictures. All right.
So you get to fade and doing some snazzy things there, but
this is amplified banners. Yeah.
When you're creating that message you're posting, that's.
But I mean, does this mean it's also coming to SharePoint in general? Because it's SharePoint.
Don't know.
This is just an effect. In fact, yeah, I think it is coming to there. It's your different.
But this is
I prefer that to the what is it?
Outlook.
Image and title one. Which
Outlook.
was, what?
The new banner will be supported in email. But
well, yeah, it definitely won't be in Teams because Teams still has that.
I know, but this is specifically saying it's only email.
Yeah.
So your SharePoint question, I don't know. Maybe it's coming to SharePoint, but don't
Fade
infer that.
It's already in SharePoint. Matthew's telling us.
Oh.
Yeah. So we author it in SharePoint. It gets nicely encapsulated in an email, but Teams still requires you to use one of 8 shades of pastel black.
Yeah. I will note that no one donated, so I guess they didn't like the whiskey talk.
No.
Yeah.
Man, are we the shopping channel?
Yes, we are.
We need to have,
Is it
store.
emailable news posts?
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically,
But most of them are now. We covered that a couple of weeks ago.
They all are, technically. Now, we don't know technically how they're doing that, but I mean, I do have some insight on that, but it's not great. So,
it's just that one column thing.
except for also, what about the web parts that are not supported in email?
Well, then they don't allow you to use them.
Except that you're creating the page before you are telling SharePoint, hey, I'm going to email this.
Yeah, and like a good example of that was as a quick links. You've got a few different options, but then when you see it in email, it chooses this numpty kind of oversized looking.
Video
thing.
right now is a perfect example too. Now they're working on that, but
all right,
it's so.
Yeah. Oh, more
whiskey. Okay,
Matthew. Clink.
That's awesome.
You'll have to leave that one up to Daniel. I've got no knowledge of whiskey.
So whiskey, Tennessee whiskey has to be at least 51% corn, and has to be filtered through charred. I don't.
So charcoal filtered.
Yes,
first?
charcoal filtered, basically. Which is charred oak. Something.
Oh, it's specific.
Type
of charcoal. Oh.
Yeah. And then it can be Tennessee whiskey. Now, whiskey, most people don't understand, is actually a bourbon. So people sometimes compare whiskey and bourbon. Whiskey is a bourbon.
That like Presbyterians or Protestants? I don't follow. Like,
sure, yes. It's just that whiskey has I think the additional requirement of filtering, a different or additional filtering, not a different requirement. It's a different filtering. Yeah, corn as in maize. Yeah, corn. Yeah, corn.
Matthew, let us know if you felt like you got your £5 worth. My goodness, it's not even dollars.
I mean, he went up.
That's generous.
Did you know President Andrew Jackson, yes, this is a U.S. reference, served Tennessee whiskey in the White House because Andrew Jackson was from Tennessee.
Okay. No, I didn't.
It is filtering of whiskey through maple charcoal, um, and started as early as 1825.
Mm.
And Jack Daniels, which is the most famous Tennessee whiskey. Although, if you come to Nashville, and you would like to, I'll just be perfectly honest. I'm not one that goes out and does this, but I will help you find it. There are many, many distillers here that do Tennessee whiskey. Jack Daniels is the most famous, and you'll find it all over the world. Started in 1875, and it's actually against the law to call something Tennessee whiskey if it's not following the process.
Oh, like champagne.
It is. It actually is against the law.
Mm.
Anyway, so there you go. It's
Hopefully there's
under
no
a federal on a federal level. The definition of Tennessee whiskey is legally established under NAFTA. So basically, you can't, like, anybody in Canada can't just go, oh, I want to produce Tennessee whiskey and call it that.
Yeah.
All right.
Saskatchewan whiskey.
Yeah. I
Thank you,
actually,
Joanne.
here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep talking about it until someone else donates more
Stop.
than Matthew did.
No,
to
we've
say
got work
stop.
to do, man. We've
I'm
got
just
work to do.
I'm just joking.
More of a
Just
vodka
kidding.
and Coke guy than a Jack and Coke. Like, okay,
Hmm.
because I've got nothing to contribute to this, but I have to ask a
Is
question.
that different?
Where is Jim Beam made?
That is a bourbon, and that's made in Kentucky, which is the state that's just above Tennessee.
Okay. All right. Central's a big party, all right? It's just a lot of brewing going on and distillery.
Well, Kentucky is bourbon central, of the U.S., and
Yep.
Tennessee is whiskey central, basically. Tennessee whiskey. All right, back to it.
Back to it.
Thank
Back
you,
to
Matthew.
work.
We greatly
Put that down.
appreciate it,
Yeah.
especially since the domain certificate for 365mcs.com is up for renewal, and it comes out of our pocket. So we
That'll
greatly
be a
appreciate
nice contribution.
the donation, because
Fantastic.
this is the only way we make money, people. So,
At the moment, because we've got to get a few more, what is it, monthly viewers on our content. We're working on it.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Yes, we should cover this one, but it feels like it's separate to the other things.
It is separate. For
or
sure.
do we wait?
I think this is a maybe. We've
mentioned
got-
in SharePoint.
We got 10 more of these things. Sheesh.
Mm.
So this is a maybe, I think, for me. Unless someone
All
else chimes in and says, you have to cover this.
It's somewhere here. That one.
Someone just joined and was like, why are they talking about whiskey?
Bourbon. Yeah.
Because Matthew made us.
What?
That's why. You want us
Yeah,
to talk about
sorry
something
about
else? Hey, we're here for you. Just pay us.
Yeah. So this is how they get all those subscribers. Oh,
Yeah.
I'll just talk about
You're
something
giving us
else.
seizures by flipping
We were
these
going to go back
screens,
to
buddy.
this other one that was a contentious
Yes.
issue. Okay, and I'll just give the backstory on this. This is
Is this contentious?
a feature where, and we're seeing more of these now in the Copilot experience of Microsoft 365,
Mhm.
where you open up the app that you're going to use or the document or the thing. In this case, it's a document. And then Copilot is at work even before you ask for it. It's offering to help. It's offering to do things. And in this case, it actually comes up with a summary for the document that you've just opened. Puts it at the top of the page, allowing you to catch up with the documents. Okay, it's going to be there by default, and it would seem that there is no control to say, I don't want to see that every time I open my document. So I had a discussion back and forth with someone who talked about this on LinkedIn. Oh, it was a product manager.
Nice.
And I was just saying, like, it's not about the admin options, man. Can we just not be distracted by words popping on the page when I'm trying to actually focus on my document? But that's what that's about. And that's why I'd love to talk about it. Anyone else come across this and have any thoughts on Copilot generating daily active usage by automatically opening and consuming a few trees in the background and increasing the carbon footprint. You know where I'm coming from here.
Wow. See,
Yeah.
I actually don't know that we are increasing the carbon footprint with it because I think they have ramped up the processing power so much. They're using it. It's just sitting there doing nothing.
It's
And so they're
idling.
like, "Hey, people, could you start
This is
using
like
this?"
regenerative braking, isn't it?
So so we could actually, could you actually start using it so that
Yeah.
it's not sitting there idle?
Okay, but here's the PowerPoint equivalent. You open up any new PowerPoint document, and if you've got Copilot, it says, "Would you like me to summarize that for you?" So
Right.
this is going one step further. No,
And
I'm
just doing it.
summarizing it for you. Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't
Tick.
seen it do it. And I just opened one.
No on-off switch, Christopher. No, that's what the product manager was saying. They may build it in. What a user has to do is close the panel
Every time.
every
Right?
time.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think show it once. If the user closes the panel, then when it comes up again, I'm fine with it, like with a banner or something saying, "Click here for a
Yeah.
summary of this document." I'm okay with that, but I'm not okay with.
Here's another one, and I know we should be saving this for the show, but it's actually Designer doing the same thing.
Really?
In PowerPoint. No, PowerPoint. Think about it.
PowerPoint
You've
Designer,
put
yep.
something on a slide, Designer comes up and says, "Hey, here's a few different designs." Now, it's been doing that before Copilot,
Yeah.
but now that it is powered by Copilot, it comes up, and you say, "Hey, would you like me to turn that off?" "Yes, please."
Yeah.
And then it stops it for that session.
All right, we're covering this, and Daryl's talking about it because he's fired up. He's going to get on
Ah, yes, I am.
He's gonna get on a-
fired up.
a
That
stool
was
on a
Copilot.
soapbox.
Long. Standard.
Standard.
Oh, we already had a not a thing, so it's not a thing.
Oh yeah, another thing.
Silly me.
Silly Daryl. Thanks for forgetting.
Engage private unlisted groups.
Yeah,
Stop that.
this is something. I need you to get rid of that window. You keep.
Okay, let's do that.
I need you to just kill
Uh,
it. Just, I don't know what you were
Stup-
doing. Looking
Oh,
for
wait.
a desk.
Yeah, I am. I was looking for a desk. I'll just
Right.
stop going all the way over. Here we are.
Yeah.
Engage private
Yeah.
unlisted groups. Private unlisted groups. Will retire. No. This is like the long tail of Engage is shutting down a number of their external networky type services. We're removing this, we're removing that. We're letting you know if this is
Yep.
important to you, then keep an eye out for it. We don't need to cover this.
Okie doke.
You go.
I'm okay with
Moving
that.
us along.
Anybody else in chat? If you're like you're like, yes, I have external networks, and it's really important. Then put it in chat. But we're making it not a thing.
User settings.
This I
User building
found
improvement.
interesting, Daryl, because this is heavy impact to users.
Yeah.
Now, is it a big deal? I don't think so. But it's if you're going to go look for turning on automatic replies, or you're going to, any of the, email signatures, there's going to be a new account that you have to select first before you get to that, rather than going to, the options it shows here. That's it's not like they're removing or adding functionality. It's just that they're taking these features and they're putting under a menu called account.
And okay, there's something similar when in New Outlook and Outlook on the web, when we say open up this calendar of a colleague. You know what I'm talking about? Add a
I do.
calendar.
Yeah.
And you say, I want to see Daniel's calendar. He works with me. I just want to kind of coordinate and see what time he's got available. So I
Yeah.
still, even if I've only got one account connected in my experience, I still have to choose that account before I can get into those settings. It's a little like that, right?
It kind of is. So right now, when you go to that gear, for instance, you in Outlook for the web, you click the
Yep.
gear, it opens up a modal for settings.
Yep.
And on the left-hand side, there's options,
categories.
menu options, categories, general, mail, calendar,
Yep,
people.
yep.
It defaults to mail because that's, if you're in mail and you chose the gear, then that's the thing. And so what it's going to do is, instead of having mail, you would have to select account to be able to see those options.
Yeah,
See what
so
I'm
you have to
saying?
choose the
Yeah.
account first, and
Yeah.
then you get into the categories.
Yeah. And then you get
Right.
into the automatic replies, email signatures, all those will
Yes.
show in the
If you,
sub options. Yeah.
and I feel like this should only come into play if you have two accounts or more connected into your Outlook. But is it there anyway?
No, it's there anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very good question, Christopher. And no, there's no screenshots of before and after. Wouldn't that be great? I mean, it does tell you like here's how you do it, but man, it would be better if we just actually had screenshots to say before and after. It doesn't.
Yeah. Shall we cover it?
Matthew says it's worth a call out.
Worth a call out. So that could be quick.
Yeah.
Okay. Next one. Unlock success with our new
This is it.
campaign goals.
This is the marketing one.
All right. You
That
got
was an-
goals?
Oh my god.
Are you using goals?
No, I don't have a Viva license.
All right.
I'm
So
not
what is
entirely
it
sure
doing
why
in
it
your
showed up
tenant
for me.
and mine?
But this is goals feature in Amplify. So this is goals
Yes.
you set for a campaign.
Oh, campaign goals.
Yep.
Okay. Which um I've felt like this is almost like a verbal, here's our goals, people, that's what we're aiming for. Now that there's a bunch of ways to potentially measure that,
Mhm.
that this is going to take effect, set, track, achieve. But what are the goals? What kind of
Well,
goals are we talking about
You
here?
set one by going to the campaign and setting the goal.
Such as increasing your open rate.
Mhm.
Okay, open and read. Certain percentage of views.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We need one that's like click through or take action.
Okay, people who are watching, put us in chat. Is this we're already covered? We're maybe covering some other Viva Amplify. Is this something you want us to cover? For the show. We're here for you. Okay, Matthew.
What the 5 people on the planet
Planet using this
Planet.
need to know.
that heart's in the way.
Yeah, it is. But he's being cheeky.
Using this need to know.
Matthew's being cheeky.
He
I
is.
think.
I mean, maybe it's like, hey, here's like, there's a bunch of stuff that's arrived in Amplify this week. We'll do this, we'll do that, and here's where it all gets wrapped up. Now you'll be able to measure that sort of thing. This is
Well,
like the
yeah.
icing on the cake.
This is you setting your own goals and then
Yeah.
measuring if it actually met it.
Yeah. But, maybe to Matthew's point, we're giving a lot of airtime to Viva Amplify, and there's been no
Speaking-
sponsorship from them.
Yeah, speaking of Viva Amplify, that's the next message. Copy a publication within a campaign.
All right. Copy a
Um,
page. Copy a publication. Yeah, just create a page again and
Yeah.
tweak it.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't think it's a thing.
Nope.
I actually don't think that was a thing.
Not a thing. Not a
Unless,
thing.
hey, live people, and not
Live
versus the dead people. I don't know. People here, throw it in chat if you want.
Wake
to
up.
talk about it.
Wake up, sleeper.
Oh goodness.
Um,
What did we say about the Outlook? Let's go back.
Oh, the
to
Outlook
thing.
one?
Yeah. Did we
settings?
vote it? Yeah.
Yeah, no, we did. I think
Okay.
we said, yeah, it's quick.
Okay. And for that one, for Viva Amplify, the goals one,
Um,
maybe. Do we have a maybe? We don't have a maybe. We
um,
need a maybe. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
green?
I don't know.
What
right.
color do you want our wallpaper to be, Daniel? Moving on to the Teams shifts thing.
Yeah, this one. What?
Enable reminders for upcoming shifts and clocking out. It's only affecting Android users.
Yeah, because of I guess a new security thing or something. Android's going to make you.
Reminders.
Um,
Well, okay. If you were using shifts, this would be important to you
mm,
because you're then going to have to
super.
tell all of your, and let's just be honest, like 80% of your frontline workers are probably using Android, not iPhone, unless you're in the US. I don't know.
Right.
So
It's
they're
probably
going to have to
opposite in
take
the US.
one further step to make sure that they get a reminder.
Yeah.
Hey, your shift's coming up tomorrow.
Well,
Make sure that you're at work.
I mean, I think the important thing here, though, is it's going to ask you, but if you've dismissed the pop up, right? You
Hmm.
didn't, you said, cancel whatever, then they have to go into settings, shift settings, and enable the reminders. And uh, this is why I think it's important for people to understand that, because if they dismissed it, then you're not getting notifications in shifts. So you're not getting notifications of changes. You're not getting notifications, reminders of your shift coming up. I mean, it actually could be a pretty big deal for those frontline workers.
Yeah, unless you're in the habit of going to the app and checking occasionally.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's a behavioral thing. But given that we don't do a lot of frontline worker, and this is really niche in terms of,
Mm.
shall we skip this one?
Um, Possibly. I would say, unless anybody who's live here thinks we should do it, we'll actually leave it to this episode, this live episode, to be a notification for people. Hey, make sure if this one is something that you need to pay attention to if you're using shifts.
One of our other deciding factors of whether we cover something or not is variety.
Hmm.
So we don't do a lot of Teams shifts things.
Yeah.
Could be important. I mean,
mean,
look, it could
sometimes
be
we
a quick
do.
mention. Could be.
It could be. You could put it as a hum. Put it as a
Hmm.
hum. That's
Yeah.
hey, we need to
All
come
right.
back to this and talk about it.
Yep.
The next one is Power Platform. Now, this is interesting. So, on September 15th, admins will be able to set a customized content to when people first log in
Oh, this is the one
to
I don't
Power
have.
Apps.
This is the one I don't have, I think.
No, the other one was the one you don't have. You need to check this one.
All right. While you're talking about it, I'll go find it.
Okay, here, let me give you the number.
No, it's
Right.
on the list
Okay.
somewhere here.
Um,
Unless you added it
you're
again.
going to be able to have a customized message. So for when people come in to Copilot Studio and Power Apps, they'll be able to get a informational, kind of like here's what this is for. Use this environment for blah blah or whatever. Like to give some information. Here's a maybe I don't know how it's going to be formatted, but maybe a URL to like a SharePoint page that gives them all the details about how to use Power Apps, stuff like that. Um, so this one's interesting. You can't find it. It's another Power Platform one. What kind of licenses you got there, Bucko?
Well, I don't platform power.
Mm. Okay. Well, this is
No.
MC869847 for those, because the other one that Daryl is missing is another September 15th one, which is actually a routing announcement, basically allowing you to, it's a premium governance feature. Maybe that's why you don't see it, but it allows you to direct new or existing makers into a personal development environment whenever they go to Copilot Studio or Power Apps. So you can say, hey, you need to go to this, you need to go to the personal environment to do your development instead of, because The reason why this is helpful is, hey, we're trying to get people to do development over here in this environment. Environment is a place where you do development that has access to certain content within your tenant. And then when you're ready, we can move it to another environment or publish it to production. But and that one's 869-853. But Daryl doesn't have those. I don't know.
I mean, if you have the inkling of wanting to share that on screen and show people, you could share your screen if you wanted to. If you wanted to.
I mean, we could. I mean, do you want to do that now? Is that what you're saying? Or are you saying, like, for the show?
Probably for the show. I don't know.
They're very short messages.
Mm-hmm.
There's no screenshots. But there is learn more information.
People, there's a dollar value thing down by the chat there. Given we haven't got screenshots, would you like to see Daniel do interpretive dance to explain these messages on the show? He'll do it for $10.
What?
It's all in your face, right? You agree with me, don't you?
What?
What? Polka. Yeah.
Polka.
Yeah, no, I'll find an accordion and I'll play it poorly.
Okay.
We'll do it like
The
Weird Al
next
Yankovic
message
style.
is appropriate for this. Mute user.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh,
What in the world?
I know.
Viva Engage. Didn't we cover something like this?
Yeah, wasn't it like putting baby in a corner?
Yes.
Basically, it was like,
Network, Engage, or global admins will be able to add or remove a user from mute for network status. I thought we talked about this already.
yeah. Is it the same thing? Add or remove a user from mute from network status for the whole network.
This new
I mean, if
feature
you're
is
going to do
available
that,
by
just
default.
kick them, man. Just
Up to 1,000 users can be muted simultaneously per network.
for some, that's not going to be enough.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Imagine the HR behind
I
that.
really do.
My
I'm going to do a
goodness.
search on the website. The website is 365mcs.com, people. So,
Yeah.
if you can find mute, I'm going to say mute. I'm looking.
Muting a user does not affect their the visibility of thread starters. I mean, this gets really deep. What? New thread starters from users cannot show. Wow, this goes deep. In terms of terminology,
Yeah.
where's the glossary on this thing?
It'd be really good is like
Setting Viva
topics,
Engage
Viva
admins and mute
topics,
users
but
across
they're
muting.
killing that too.
Removes their new posts from that user from home feed, story lines, and email
I
digests.
really thought we talked about this.
Man, just remove
I
their
can't find
Engage
them.
license if they're going to be like this. And then, should they be working for you if you have to go to that level? Maybe this is when they do it during a...
So I can think of, it's muting and then you go talk to them. I see it as a temporary thing, not a permanent thing. It's okay, you've been muted and you're in timeout. Now let's go talk, let's talk to them and be like, okay, review. Because it's not necessarily you're saying bad things or you're being harassing. You're just posting way too much. Like you're flooding.
That's one use.
Yeah, you're flooding the network. You need to be working and not posting 50 times a day in Viva Engage communities.
That's one purpose for it, but I think more likely it's going to be someone who's got on their soapbox about a certain issue. They're really going for it. They're arguing with people, and you just need to shut that down and go have a chat with them before someone gets hurt.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what that's for.
I can't find it.
And you might need to do it for up to 1,000 users.
You might. That's a lot of. I can't find it
man.
Maybe people in chat could find it where we've talked about this before. Maybe it was something that, I put on social when the roadmap item came up, and that could be it. Maybe I'm just
Yeah.
thinking about that. I
Chris,
don't
I
know.
don't think that North Korea has Viva Engage.
No, he's saying it's like a North Korea type move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just wondering what that.
I think this is a thing for us to talk about, but
Sure.
I really thought we covered something like. But again, I'm getting older. Maybe I'm confusing it with something I posted.
All right, that's just standard. 3 to go. 3 to go. We can do
Let's
this.
go, people. Now I'm
Hey,
yawning.
yo.
That's terrible. I should not yawn in front of the audience.
Okay, copy meeting attendee responses to clipboard. Meeting attendee
Yeah, this is
responses.
weird.
What?
So you know how when you send out a meeting notification,
Yeah.
people can say accept, tentative, whatever.
Yeah.
This is allowing you to
and
actually
they add a
copy
little
those.
bit more.
This is
Oh,
allowing
okay.
you to copy those responses to the clipboard, so you can paste it into whatever. The only thing that I came up, and maybe other people can come up with a reason, is if you're putting it in like the collaborative notes before the meeting, to be like, here are the
yeah.
people who we invited to here, because not only the person who sent it out sees that, right? Or does everybody see that?
No, everybody sees it.
No, everybody
but-
sees it.
But being able to have it in the notes
Yeah.
is useful.
Yeah, I
For
think so.
sure.
And
That's,
then it lets Copilot actually use it too for recap.
Copy. It's not available on Outlook yet, so this is a render for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it would be great to have it somewhere. Don't know if you want to put it right at the top because it's going to be quite a long list. That's one place you might put it. But isn't this almost like it's a soft registration? Like if you were doing a town hall or a meeting or something and you required registration, that's going to be already captured. This is just a regular meeting. We want to capture registration, the intention to attend the tracking. Copy, what is it? Copy names, copy all tracking information. I don't know. Looks interesting. Did they say in the message why we would do that? This message applies
I
to
don't see
Outlook
it.
for Windows and web.
It doesn't. No, there's no like why.
No.
I think they should justify all features. We did this because we thought people would, or we did this because our manager
At a
made us
minimum.
do it.
2 sentences at a minimum. Why did you make this?
But maybe it's because the reason why they made it is because company XYZ, who has lots of licenses, their representative
it.
thought that would be a good idea. And they're like, okay, we'll spend development hours to do this.
Yeah. And then we'll tell people about it.
I mean, I think this is useful. And Matthew thinks it's super useful, I think. I think that's what he was saying was super useful. So this is maybe a quick mention.
Like I said, like if you put that registration required feature, it's there, but something you have to do up front. If you wanted to capture registration after the fact, seeing people's intentions to attend or not attend, it's there for people to look at, but where would you like to capture and put that? And I think that the collaborative notes thing is a good use.
Yeah, I think so too.
Quick one?
Yeah.
All right. Quick. It's going to be a long show.
Maybe. If you keep talking.
Oh.
Haha.
Stream playlist. Stream playlist card.
Yeah. for
Kind of like the
dashboard.
quick links card we talked about last week, but
Yeah.
here's our playlist and here's the things that you could view.
At least this one is. Remember last week we were talking about how it actually not great implementation of the quick links because it always showed the first quick links title on the card and then said and more. This one it looks like you can actually configure it to be whatever. So
Does it? I mean, I
well,
think it's a little less than that because you only see. Oh no, it's just the name of the playlist.
yeah, that's what I mean.
But I reckon it should have like the number of videos there.
I agree with you. Now that you say it,
Hmm.
I
Gesture recognition.
this is a maybe. This is definitely I think a quick mention. Not counting how many messages we have, this is a quick mention.
Mm-hmm.
So,
All right, last one.
yep, last one. You tell me about this.
Did you choose it? Hang on, let me try and absorb this. And I read slowly. Installed extensions will be auto-enabled. What? Hang on. Huh?
Extensions, yeah, in Copilot. Plugins.
Well, why don't they just say plugins? They're called plugins in the UI.
Well, it's formerly plugins. Apparently,
Oh, now they're going to
it.
be calling them extensions.
Apparently,
Changing things already. Did you get that name from Copilot? Hey Copilot, what should we call this feature? Here are your options. Give me 10 more. I'll go with installed and extensions. Thank you.
I mean, I will say, the biggest problem I had with plugins, now extensions, was that you had to go turn them on, which means they never got turned on.
So then auto enable to run. Right. Okay. Yeah. So if there's one that you're wanting to point people to your own source of information that's super important for your organization, you want them to be available in the sources that Copilot will find content from. Yeah, that's useful. Automatically turning it on for people.
Yeah. Anybody think we should cover this one? Throw it in chat. Say extensions yes or extensions no. Extensions yes, extensions no. It's interesting that they keep saying that in this message a couple times. Users can now create, update, or delete records with extensions. So having Copilot, if you have an extension for whatever service, it's going to be able to delete records within whatever that is pointing to.
Yeah, you're actually getting Copilot to perform an action for you on that plugin. So let's think about ServiceNow.
Yeah.
Not that you'd want to delete a ticket, but maybe you want to delete.
Okay,
something,
Casper
or
and
you want to create
Christopher,
something.
you need to follow instructions. I said extensions yes or extensions no. Come on now.
So Matthew did.
Christopher
Plug
did
in
not.
extensions cord. Okay, I
Come on
like
now.
that. Yeah.
I kind of like this one. Sure.
That means we'll make it a quick one, and we'll
Okay.
put your name against it.
Whoa, hey you.
No, you said you like it. You like it.
You said it first.
Well, I'm not
Let's roll it back. I think Daryl said it first. Hold on. I'm going to roll this back and I'll play it for you. Where you said,
don't
I
need to
think
do
that's
that.
good. That's what I think. If
Daniel
you
feels
want
comfortable
Daryl to
covering
cover
this.
this,
No.
click that $sign in the rectangle next to the chat window and at least donate $1, and Daryl will cover that message. You
Right,
can do
we've got a few
10, and
here.
he will actually do it with a smile. I'm just saying.
Extension cable. Thank you, Chris,
Extension
for that joke.
cable?
Yeah.
I get it. But with a smile and no sarcasm whatsoever, he'll do it for $10.
When you're smiling, the whole world smiles with you. When you're laughing.
If you pay $20, he'll quit singing.
Yeah.
All right, let's
No,
look
I'll
at
do
this.
that for you for free.
Let's look at this.
All right, we have got a ton here. Do we want
Ton.
people to sit here and watch us go yes, no, drop, yes, no?
Well, I mean, people, if you see something on here that we have not a thing listed, tell us. Throw it in chat. If you see it say standard or quick and you're like, no, don't do that, throw it in
Oh,
chat.
not a thing. Oh, it's gone.
Um,
Private enlisted.
I think
groups.
really what we're going to need to
How
do.
did that work?
Why are you deleting stuff?
Because it's not a thing.
What if
I'm
they?
like-
What if they voted?
Well, they didn't type it fast enough.
Okay.
Casper wanted to pay $50 to make me shut up. I think. I mean, stop singing. Let's be more accurate. Okay.
Yeah, come on, don't be so mean to yourself.
Yeah.
I think we have to figure out amplify,
Oh, yeah. That's going
because
to be
right now we
huge,
got
man.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Yeah, it's going to be huge.
5, and we actually have 6. Number 9 is the
How about we
sixth
do like another category here called combine
one.
and see it. So it was combine that
Yep.
and that and that. Wow. And that. I mean, that's going to be half a show, man. Where are the new banner? That was the other one. Combine. Oh, it's not actually related to measuring stuff, though.
I will say,
Hmm.
I'm just reminded that back to the whiskey thing. There is a place I saw called Leaper's Fork is a place near here, and they have a distillery called Leaper's Fork Distillery. It's a very famous one around these parts. That's a bonus whiskey conversation. Just letting everybody know.
Bonus. All right, so that's about 6
You missed-
messages to combine.
Yeah, I know. Do we? I don't know that we do.
It would have to be rapid fire. It would be like, hey, Amplify's done a bunch of stuff. We're going
Yeah.
to talk about some of the things that you can now see in your measurements.
Okay, but here's
So you
here's a remember. There's yet another thing we talk about, which is the value that we bring. If we have to do it so fast that it's just saying, "Hey, go read this,"
Yeah.
then are we bringing value, or is it just that we are doing it just to do it? And we
Yeah.
don't do that. We don't just read a thing to read it.
Right.
So
I mean, that's like coming up with a thumbnail and just pointing to it.
Yeah. I mean, so I don't like that. I don't like us saying, "Hey, there's some new Viva Amplify ways of measuring things. This one's going to do this. This one's going to do that." That's not enough. I don't like that. So I say, out of these 6, we pick 2, and say, "Hey, here's the 2 maybe," and then we
Check out a
say,
couple
"There's a
more."
bunch of others
Yeah.
in there." Maybe we can say their numbers. No, but go check it out. But we don't talk in depth. That's
Okay.
my opinion.
If we're going to pick 2, reports displaying count and percentage,
I think so.
and
Maybe reactions card, or I don't think they export one. That's just not.
no, and look, you can export it to CSV.
What about goals?
Yes.
The goals one, maybe? I don't know.
Well, yeah, no, the goals, yeah. Yes, that's it. It's an example of one of the things about measurement. And now that you can measure, you can set goals. Go and see the other messages if you want.
I agree. Yep.
Here's the other sessions you should attend this week at this conference. So we decided on,
And then
and
we
the new-
say, maybe we do a plug. If you work on the Viva Amplify team and you want us to talk about your stuff that you actually publish, then drop us a sponsorship.
to not reactions card and not user signals. And
I'm all for. I'm sorry, I don't mean to, hijack it, but I'm all for product teams paying us to actually cover their announcements, because again, we have to. There's costs for running this shindig that don't get covered, and
Yeah, we've got some agreement too with our approach. So that's
I
cool.
agree. Okay,
The,
let's
the
go.
Viva amplified new banner thing, which was that fade,
Yep.
is because that's not. It's still amplified, but it's not related to this topic. Do we cover that?
No.
Because
don't
it's going to
think
be a SharePoint thing. I mean, we'll probably see a message about that too. Given that it's already there, confirmed by our audience,
Yeah.
it'll be a message that goes something like, "We released."
Yeah.
There won't be
Sorry
an
that we
oops.
didn't tell you ahead of time.
Yeah,
Something like that.
something.
Yeah.
So we've got that and that. We need to drag those two up together to do together.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I'll do it. I'm happy with it.
Yes.
Daryl. You wanted to do the backfilling connector thing.
Yep. I want to do that. I'm excited about it. I really
All
am.
right. We've got the Copilot, and I was happy to do that one, so we need to move that a bit further. Oh,
Why'd you
no,
put my
sorry.
name?
I don't know.
What are you doing?
I don't know, but I've been told.
Get a handle.
Not a
on
lot,
your
really.
Stuff.
Get it.
Uh,
Usability.
I don't know
Improve
about
with
this
new
one, man. We
accounts.
got so much stuff.
Yeah, we have.
I don't think we do shifts. I mean, because that was a hey,
That's
if
a
we don't have enough or
Yep.
whatever.
Nope. Engage,
Um,
mute people.
1, 2, 3, 4. Now, I mean, okay. Now I'm at the point where if we actually do these that we've marked quick, actually we do them quick, we could keep them. So let's actually talk about these.
Okay.
Copy meeting attendee responses. Actually, somebody, I can't remember who said it, said, "Hey, that's useful." So let's do that one. We can keep it as quick, but we'll do that one. I'll do that one.
That's good because I began typing your name.
I know you did. I noticed that. With a little
Stream
D.
playlist
Like
card.
it's kind of funny.
Happy to do that. Easy.
Yeah.
What, you're going to suggest we don't do it? We could not.
I'm
do it?
okay. I think we actually shouldn't do the account settings. I talked about a lot about it does have impact on users and everything, but
No, it's just like it's more of an inconvenience.
well, it's
Fade banners is a nice surprise. Matt wants it.
he says nah. I don't know what nah means. Hey, people, and I really appreciate you throwing in chat. You got to tell us what you mean by yes and no, because we don't know which ones you're talking about. So Matthew,
Well, that's the Viva one with the fade banner.
yeah.
Well, sorry, the amplify thing. And whether he says yes, cover it, as in yes, please.
Yeah, so that's what I mean.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, we're a little bit behind. Seeing the video that you see is like 15 seconds or so behind of what's happening. So,
But your comments are live.
yeah, but your comments are live. So we really just make sure you put in there like which one you're talking about, yes or no.
To keep
so that-
Daniel's OCD in check, even put in the ID.
Oh my
the
gosh, you don't have to
message
do
sent
that.
number.
Come on, come on, man. OCD, whoops on the head. Yep. I'm not surprised if you find it. I like that. Okay. So for Viva Engage, mute a user. Who said you could put your name on some of these?
What?
Oh, you did the combined and Copilot. Okay, so
Yeah.
that's me then, I guess.
Yeah.
Although, that means
We
I have
deleted
two.
something.
Yeah, I think I'm going to put my name on this one. Whoa. Wait.
Hang on.
What are you doing?
There.
Yeah, there you go.
Isn't it cool that we can do this and it's actually real time, not sync and wait?
Yeah, absolutely. And now that they fixed the whole thing, yeah. Yeah, Matthew, I'm going to cover it. Outlook participants, or little d, Daniel. I don't know who that is. I'm going to put a capital D on that because
I'm sorry.
I feel like he's trying to make me sound unimportant. I'm just joking.
You're important.
You know what I want to say, Daryl? I want to say thank you to everyone that has stuck with us. Thank you so much. Really appreciate you.
I think we're
We're
there.
finished. You know,
Yeah.
Casper's like, I gotta go. I totally get it. It's late for you. Greatly
Hmm.
appreciate you being here because we had a lot to work through and we made it through. Really, really appreciate you sticking with us, Matthew
Hmm.
and Christopher
We had fun.
I
Thank you.
mean, we've got other people who are not in chat that's joined as well, and of course, Matthew, thank you for the tip. Really appreciate that because you know, frankly, we got to pay the bills. So greatly appreciate that. And check out the show. It'll be published on Monday, um, worldwide Monday time, sometime Monday. So thank you so much for everyone for being here. Appreciate you. I applaud you for joining us. Thanks a lot. Really appreciate it. Bye
See you
for
next
now.
week.
Yep.
Outro, 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 outro. Hitting the stop button.
Outro.